So I'm going to spend some time today talking about power and the relationship of power to the production of knowledge. More specifically, I want to look at the ways in which academe and the academic production of knowledge is a public relations tool for the dominant power structures, for the power elite, in consolidating their power and in further circulating the power. In my book Voices of Resistance, as well as in the earlier book Communicating Social Change, I suggested the importance of looking specifically at the production of knowledge itself. This is not an argument that I'm the first one to make. I think this argument has been consistently made by social critiques, starting from Baudelaire to Foucault, pointing out the need for essentially questioning the politics within knowledge is constituted. For us studying communication, particularly, the link between knowledge and power and the circulation of power is particularly important because we are positioned in this vital place where we can look at meaning and how meaning happens to circulate among the power elite, and in that context then how the sides of knowledge production are themselves complicit with the agendas of dominant structures in producing particular kinds of meanings and in circulating these meanings within the mainstream narratives. So if you were to really look at the kinds of pronouncements that economists make, but even beyond that, if you were to look at the kinds of projects that we as communication scientists or communication scholars work on, you realize fairly quickly that the positions from which we work are positions that are supported by the power elite, and in that sense then these positions are intrinsically tied to the political economy of knowledge itself. So the production of knowledge is in and of itself built into a particular kind of politics that renders invisible the voices of the poor, the voices of the margins, and at the same time draws its power from erasing the complicity of academic knowledge and its agendas with the power elite. So in some ways then knowledge becomes a marker, a public relations marker in many ways, that can make pronouncements that fulfill the agendas of the power elite and yet do so from a fairly apparently neutral position, seeming to be objective, seeming to be universal, seeming to be unbiased. And yet interrogating this closely reveals that these positions of knowledge in and of themselves are connected to particular kinds of politics, particular kinds of political agendas, and in that sense therefore are very much tied to the agendas of the power elite that constitute the broader domains and boundaries of knowledge, determining what kinds of knowledge would be circulated, would be acceptable, and also determining then what kinds of knowledge would be unacceptable. Thank you.